Hello everyone, my name is Autumn, and this class is meant for anyone of any skill level, but if you're new to yoga and have never tried it before, or know that certain things might be uncomfortable for you or struggle with flexibility or any of that, this is a great class to get started with. So we're going to start on our backs. So come all the way to lie down. You can bend your knees, move those feet nice and close to the sit bones, and then take your hands to your low belly. You can stack them on top of each other, might feel nice, or maybe the hands one on top of each hip. And just maybe close your eyes and take about 5 breaths here. And then from here, we're going to gently bring that right knee into the belly. You can give it a nice little hug. And then that left leg can extend long on the mat. You can always just plant the foot or reach it all the way out, whichever feels okay for you. So really hugging that right knee into the belly. As much as you can, rooting that left hip down into the mat. So just paying attention to your breath. Working on inhaling through the nose, and then we can exhale out through the mouth if you'd like, or you can practice exhaling out through the nose as well. So we're going to take that right knee in the left hand, right arm comes out to a T, and we're just going to start to twist. So you're going to bring that knee over towards the left, as much as feels good for you, and you really want to keep that right shoulder on the mat. And then we're going to come back to center. Hug that knee in nice and close again. And now that left hand comes out, and that right knee is going to start to open up out to the right hand side. Keep that left hip rooted down and just start to get a little stretch in that groin. And then we'll come all the way back to center. And you're going to extend that right leg up towards the sky. So maybe it stops here, or maybe it keeps going. You can interlace the fingers behind that hamstring. Maybe flex through the foot. Doesn't have to do anything crazy or come up close to your head. If this isn't enough sensation for you, slide those hands up towards the calf and pull that leg a little closer. Little bend in the back of the leg is totally fine. And you really want to listen to your body here. You don't want to force yourself into any pose that your body is fighting against. You want to feel maybe slight discomfort, a nice release as well. So I don't have a ton of mobility. I'm not hyper flexible, and that's okay. It's completely fine. I'm getting slowly more open, but I'm also maintaining my stability and my strength. And that's completely fine to listen to where your body is, wherever it is, on whatever day it is. It's very different depending on the time. And then we'll slowly bend that knee up into the belly, give it a hug, and then we'll extend that right leg long. Now the left knee comes into the belly, and we give it a nice little hug. So that right hip we want to really root down onto the mat. Keep it nice and solid. And remember your breath, paying attention to your breath. And now from here, we're going to bring that left arm out to a T, maybe goalpost the arm. And then that right knee can start to cross over the body. So as much as feels good for you, try to keep that left shoulder down on the mat. Really getting a nice twist, a stretch through that hip, through the spine. And then we'll slowly come back to center. And now we're gonna grab onto that knee with the left hand, right arm comes out. And we're gonna start to open up out towards the left. So root down through that right hip. And then we'll come all the way back to center. And then we'll start to extend that leg up towards the sky. So remember, stopping wherever you need to stop. Wherever you feel just enough sensation in the back of the leg. You can always keep a bend in the knee. You can always slide those hands a little higher. Keeping that right hip rooted down. And again, knowing that at different times of the day, on different days, your body's gonna feel different. And that's okay, we just have to meet it where it's at and find some release wherever we can. And then we'll gently rebend that knee. We're gonna now bring both knees into the belly, give them a nice little hug, and roll on over to one side. So you can press into your palms, let your head be very heavy. And we're gonna come all the way up to sit. So we're gonna cross the ankles and sit, and this is called Sukhasana if it feels comfortable for you. You can also just take those feet, plant them right out in front of you. You can also sit up on a block, a blanket, a pillow, anything you'd like if it feels a little intense, or lean up against a wall. We're gonna inhale the arms out, up, and overhead. And then we're gonna exhale and twist over to the right hand side. So we're gonna take that left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand comes behind you, and we're gonna just spiral the chest open, 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 and look over that back shoulder. And then slowly come back to center. Inhale those arms up. And then exhale over to the other side. So right hand to left knee. Turn and look over that left shoulder. Really growing tall through the spine here as we twist. And then gently coming back to center. We can take the hands behind us and we're just gonna switch to the crossing of the ankles so we can even ourselves out. This time we inhale the arms above. We're gonna interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the sky. Open the chest. And then as we exhale, round through the spine. And then inhale, chest opens. Exhale, round. It doesn't have to be big motions. One more time. Inhale, open that heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, back to center. We're going to release the fingers. And then exhale, right hand down, right hip, left arm up and alongside the ear. So just feel a nice release in the left side of the body. And breathing. And then we'll inhale both arms up and exhale over to the opposite side. And then inhale back to center. And we're going to swing those legs around and come to make the way to the hands and the knees. So we're going to make sure those wrists are under the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, knees under the hips. Maybe you tuck your toes if you want a little extra stretch. And we'll just sway backwards and forwards. Maybe some circles here. And in the other direction. Coming back to center, we can now take some cat-cow. So as you inhale, your belly dips towards the mat, your tailbone reaches towards the ceiling, so you stick your butt out, and then your chest opens, so your shoulders press back and your chest presses forward. And then as you exhale, you're gonna press into your palms, round your spine, your belly button lifts up and your tailbone tucks in. You can release your head. So then we'll inhale for cow and exhale for cat. One last one. Inhale for cow and exhale for cat. And then we come back to neutral spine and we're gonna take something called a puppy pose. You're gonna walk your hands out in front of you and your butt's gonna reach high, your chest is gonna sink low, and you wanna get a stretch in your shoulders and your upper back. And then we're gonna slowly come back, hands and knees. And making our way up to standing, however is comfortable for you. We're gonna fold over the legs. You can bring your feet nice and wide if you'd like. You can also bend your knees a lot. Your hands reach down towards the mat. You're gonna plant your left hand, inhale your right hand to the hip, and you're gonna look up towards the ceiling. And now maybe that right arm reaches up towards the sky, and maybe you straighten through that right knee. And then slowly that right hand comes down, replaces the left hand comes to the left hip. We can bend through that right knee, straighten through the left, look up over the shoulder, and then reach that arm up towards the sky. And then we'll slowly bring that hand down. And you're gonna flatten your spine, look forward, open your arms, and come all the way up to stand. Hands come palm to palm. So now we're gonna just work through a little mini standing series here. We're gonna start with our warriors. So we're gonna start in warrior 2 actually. Front foot, your right foot's gonna come out in front of you, and your left foot's gonna step back. What you wanna think of is the front heel comes in line with the center of the back foot. So this can be a nice and narrow stance. You're gonna have a little more stability, or you can widen this stance a little bit more, sink a little bit deeper. You wanna tuck in your pelvis a little bit so you support your low back, pull up through your low belly, a lot of support in your core. And you're gonna push to the outside edge of that back foot. Arms come out to a T and look over that front arm. So you don't want any tension in the shoulders. Don't want to hold tension anywhere you don't need to hold tension, which can be really tough. And we're going to look over that front arm and just breathe. And now we're going to straighten through that knee. We're going to come into what's called triangle pose. So you can narrow the stance if you'd like, or just keep your feet right where they are. Same leg position except for that front knee is straight. Your arms come out to a T. The hip tilts backwards. Right hand is going to come to your shin just below your knee. You can have a little bend in the knee. That's completely fine. And then that top arm, you first want to start with your hand on your hip. If this feels good and fine on your shoulder, on your neck, and you want to lift that top arm up towards the ceiling, then you come to that. We want to push again through the outside edge of the back foot, trying not to hold tension where we don't need to hold tension, and finding a position that works for us, that's comfortable to stay in. Might be challenging in the legs, and that's totally fine. And then as we come up, we're going to reach that left arm back, the right arm forward, and we'll just re-bend through the front knee. Your hands come to your hips, and we're going to straighten through the knee. Both toes face center, and then we're going to turn the left foot out. We're going to come right into the left side. Left heel's in line with the center of the right foot, And then the arms come out to the T again. So coming into warrior two, remember, front knee over the front ankle. You can make this stance as narrow or as wide as you like. You're gonna pull up in the low belly so your core is supporting you. We don't wanna feel this in the low back. And then the arms come out. We look over that left arm and we practice breathing and paying attention to our breath. So from here, we straighten through that front knee. Your back hand can come to the back hip right away. And we're gonna tilt the hips back. Left hand can come to the left shin. Again, remember, there can be a little bend in that knee. And we're gonna see how it feels on the shoulder to lift that top arm up. So there is no way that everybody's triangle pose or warrior pose is gonna look exactly the same. Absolutely not. Our bodies are built differently. And so I look different than a lot of other people. If you look different than me, totally fine. That's exactly as it should be. So again, finding a comfortable place for your head so you can maybe look up or maybe look straight out in front. And then we'll inhale, come back up to the warrior two. Bend through the front knee. And now we're gonna straighten through the legs. For your neutral hip pose, I like to do at least one. We're gonna have the toes, we're gonna face forward to start. And then hands come to the hips. And we're gonna reach the hips back, lead with an open heart, and reach the hands down. So maybe we bend the knees, maybe we take a book or a block underneath the hands. And then if you feel comfortable, you release the head down. You can grab opposite elbows if it feels good to rock from side to side, or just keep that stability with your hands on the mat. So from here, we're gonna flatten the spine, look forward. Hands come to hips and rise all the way up to stand. Heel toe those feet in towards each other. And we're not gonna do warrior one or warrior three today, and that's okay. We're gonna do eagle instead. So we're gonna take this right leg and we're gonna cross it over the left. You're gonna bend through both knees. So this is an eagle variation. The arms come out to a T. Your right leg's on top, so your right arm comes below. So you can either just give yourself a really nice hug here. You can also try to touch either the backs of the hands or the palms. But again, take the variation that actually feels good for your body, that feels like it's where it should be, not where you want it to be. So we're gonna, from here, the ball of that right foot can be on the mat. If you wanna try hovering it, you can do that. Eventually you wrap it around that standing leg. So we're gonna inhale and we're gonna lift the elbows up tall, and we're gonna exhale and we're gonna curl the elbows towards the knees. Round the spine, think of that cat spine we did. And remembering your breath here. And then we're gonna inhale to come all the way up. Arms come out to a T. Let's see if we can bring that knee up into the belly and then step straight down. Pedal out the feet, notice the difference between your legs. Now we're gonna cross that left leg over the right. Come to the ball of the foot, bend through both knees. Again, remember, there's no way that this has to look exactly like mine looks, and no reason that you have to try the hardest thing. So the arms come out to a T, left arm comes below. Again, give yourself a hug if you'd like to touch the backs of the hands or the palms. That's the next step, but we listen to our bodies. For me, this feels really good right now. So again, that bottom foot or that crossed foot can either hover or wrap around, or it stays down. And then we're gonna lift through the elbows, lift through the shoulders, and exhale and curl. So think of that cat spine. Release the head, pay attention to the breath. And then we'll inhale, rise up. Arms come out to a T. Let's see if we can bring that knee up for just a second. And then walk it down. Hands come to hips. Paddle out the feet. So we're gonna start to slow down. So we're gonna make our way all the way down to the mat. And we're gonna come to sit. We're gonna take a little forward folding and then we'll come to the back. So we're gonna extend the left leg out in front. Right sole of the foot comes to the left inner thigh. This is called Janu Shirshasana. You can always sit up on a blanket or a block for this one. We turn the chest over that extended left leg and we start to walk the hands out. So we might stop here. You can also bend through the knee. If you'd like, you reach towards the shin or maybe you cross the hands at the foot and start to spiral the chest down. Elbows can come out to either side and we release the head. And then we slowly come all the way back up. And we're gonna switch sides. So that right leg reaches long, left sole of the foot comes to the right inner thigh. And then we spiral that chest over. Start to walk the hands, get down. Again, stopping where you're feeling the sensation, where it feels like a place of meditation, of focus. And if you'd like, you can keep walking those hands. Maybe crossing the wrists and the elbows bending out to either side, releasing the head. And then ever so slowly coming all the way back up to sit. And we're gonna bring both legs out in front of us. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and we're gonna slowly roll all the way down. So coming to your back, we're just gonna take a little hip stretch before we come into Shavasana. So you're gonna cross your right ankle over that left knee, flex through the foot, and we'll take figure four. You're gonna bring that left leg in towards you. Use your right elbow to press the left hip or the right hip open. And just breathing, maybe flexing through your feet. And then we're gonna slowly come out of it and we'll switch sides. So that left ankle crosses on top of the right knee, flex through the foot, and we're gonna bring those legs in towards you. Slowly release. And we bring both knees into the belly. Let's let the knees come to the outside of the ribs, arms to the inside of the legs, hands to the outside of the feet. Happy baby. So rocking maybe a little bit from side to side. You want to kind of straighten through one knee when you come to that side and rebend and do the same thing on the other side. As I bring this tablecloth with me. And then we'll bring both knees into the belly and extend those legs long for your Shavasana, your final resting pose. So let those legs just come out long. The feet can splay out to the sides. The arms come down. Maybe closing your eyes. And staying here for about 5 minutes. See how it feels. see what happens if you just let yourself take this extra time just to pay attention to your breathing, just to sink a little deeper into your body.